weight loss when you're all young and strapping. Here I have our expert, Frederick Viachik, who's also my son, and some of you know him from his early bear days. And Frederick just went off to college this year, and so he has a little special, unique insight for all of us on like the not only the COVID-19 but the freshman 15. And so I introduced to you my very active and always trim son, Frederick, who then like threw himself into the college experience and is
Deep
ready.
dive.
He's ready here to report back to us. Take it away, Frederick.
Hello, I'm Frederick, and I went to college just a few months ago. Yeah, I was there for about 3 months, and I was like, I know all these people have gained 15 pounds, and that's why they called it the freshman 15. But I was like, I'm not gonna gain 15 pounds, and I didn't. I gained 12. So here I am today to talk to you about weight loss and how I'm implementing weight loss strategies.
And let me just point out, I mean, Frederick has always been super trim, and I never imagined that he'd even have an issue with weight loss at all. So it's kind of interesting that we're having this conversation now, but I've been really proud of the ways Frederick has just started to handle this. So tell us about some of the things as you reflected on your 12-pound weight gain in 1 quarter and what you're doing about it.
I noticed that I gained 12 pounds this holiday season. I had a bit too much holiday cheer, and I weighed myself, and my all-time high weight is 165 pounds. When I looked at that, I just groaned, and I'm like, oh shoot, that's what Dad was like when he had his beer belly. Of course, I don't have like the same composure as Dad, but still, I want to get down to like of more of a trim weight. And so what I did was I implemented my mom's diet strategy. I just asked her one day, what is it I could do to lose some weight? And she was like, well, just use your own like method version of the eat like a bear kind of diet. And yeah, so I decided to eat every day in a 5 hour window or less. I ate giant meals, huge. I never ate before 11 a.m. and never stopped, and I stopped eating by 5. To keep on track, I weighed myself every morning, and I kept a weight log, a piece of paper that had like that had my weight from various days, and it turns out I've dropped 5 pounds since I started this 2 weeks ago. So I've made great progress so far.
That really is great progress. And so when Frederick came to me, he did ask what he should implement. And I pointed out the intermittent fasting structure that's worked so well for us in this family that, you know, it's easy to implement. You can implement it immediately. So it seemed like the obvious thing he needed to do, but he's actually not completely describing the changes he made because he had a little light bulb moment about his calorie intake. So tell him about that.
Right. Yes, I've been taking this nutrition class this quarter, and I was able to calculate how many calories I burn up in a day. And it's really a simple calculation. I could teach any of you if I wanted to. Maybe that can be another video. But
We'll bring you back. But tell us for yourself and how it changed your eating.
so I figured out my maintenance calories and set it at about 3,000 calories a day. And yeah, and I just figured out like I've been figuring out how to look at food labels and measure the calories I eat. And like for example, yesterday I ate 1,800 calories. Since my maintenance calories are 3,000 calories per day, I was at a deficit of 1,200 calories. Yeah, each pound of fat on your body is equivalent to about 3,500 calories. Just yesterday I burned up 1,200 calories, which is more than a third of a pound. So I made good progress on that.
Yeah, that's great. And something else, Frederick, as Frederick was calculating the calories, it made him for the first time. So he's been making these smoothies, these amazing persimmon
Oh, they're
smoothies.
so good. I'm addicted to persimmons now. It's the next drug yeah.
So the thing is, he was putting cream in those smoothies and had a little light bulb moment when he turned that label around. Tell him about that.
Yeah, so I was looking at the calories from different stuff I was putting in my smoothies. And I looked at the cream label and saw, oh, it's only 60 calories per serving. And then I looked down a bit and it said 128 servings per container. And I looked it up and it turns out that container of cream had 7,500 calories in it. And I was just pouring it in, guzzling creamy persimmon smoothie. And I know I gained a whole lot of weight from that.
So, Frederick, you have a lot in common with many of us here in your love for cream and like just, wanting to just pour it right into the coffee or whatever else. So yours was a smoothie, mine is the coffee. And you guys, that stuff's going to it's going to keep you fat. And so Frederick had the little light bulb moment that cream was making him fat and keeping him fat. So he cut it out and has been so you said 5 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yes, 5 pounds in 2 weeks. It even got down to 8 pounds once, but there's fluctuation. And right now I'm up like back another 3 pounds.
Yeah, so he's seeing what so many of us see, like the little fluctuation, but he has a strong downward trend. But let me just say, on the 5 pounds in 2 weeks, that's fabulous. That's really a great rate, especially that you're starting from a pretty low weight as it is, and so we wouldn't expect to see as rapid weight loss at that weight. But I want to just point out to people who are watching this that Frederick's also very active. And so tell them what you did 2 days ago.
2 days ago, I went on a bike ride. I had my grandma drop me off up in Pine Flat, and I rode up this gravelly dirt road for 3 miles, and it's like this steep the whole way. And on top of that, it was during a windstorm, and I had like a puffy jacket on. And as I was riding my bike, the windstorm, like it was pushing me like a sailboat or blowing against me, making the hill feel twice as steep. But anyway, that was my workout. Yeah, that ride uphill was a killer. But then I got to ride back downhill, which was super fun. That's my reward for riding uphill.
Absolutely.
And plus, I burned up lots of calories. I burned up about maybe 1,000 calories from that bike ride.
So that was one bike ride, but then you had a day where you did the swimming and the workout.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. So I swam for an hour, and then I went up to my neighbor's place and did this heavyweight deadlifting workout and got up to my new deadlifting record, by the way, 180 pounds 4 times in a row. And then I did a 4-mile bike ride after that. So I've been recovering from that since, and I've just been moaning and groaning from that. I did way too much. But anyway, that's what my day looks like on an extreme workout day.
Yeah, and so he's lost the 5 pounds, but we also know he's probably lost more pounds than that of fat, and he's probably putting on some muscle. So, this is a really active guy right here, and I think if you can leverage activity, you are going to see your weight loss speed up, and so that is exactly what Frederick's doing. So he's mindful of his calories. He's eating in a tighter eating window than he has in the past, and but he's also really active. So anyone who can leverage all of those things ought to. When I started, I was just limping around the house and I weighed, way above, in the high 200s. And so I was not out and being active. And so my weight loss was driven by what I was eating. But at the end of it, when I was able to get out and be active, that's when I was able to just grind off like the last 20 pounds hiking, basically, because I was in that fat burning mode and just like grinding through it. And those hikes just powered that fat right off of me. So we see Frederick like leveraging that like a champ. Frederick, what would you say to other young people who are just reflecting on their recent weight gain?
Cut out cream, cut out persimmons. Don't do drugs, kids. And yeah, exercise a whole lot. And yeah, just keep active.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Frederick. So yeah, we're going to have you back. We want to update on this. So now what's your current body weight?
159.
And your goal weight?
150.
150.
Yeah.
150 because you're figuring you're going to have some muscle that is on top of that, because I would have thought you would say 140. So I'm guessing you're saying 150 because you're going to end up all ripped, I think.
I'm starting out with 150 because that was my weight from last summer. But like now, as I'm exercising, I know that I'm both burning fat and gaining muscle, and so it might be kind of tricky to get down to 140 if I gain a lot of muscle. So yeah, I'm just setting my goal for 150 first, and I'll take it from there when I get there.
Okay, well, all right, Frederick. Thanks so much for joining us, honey, and we'll catch you later.
Catch you later.